Live. I'm Brandon Todd. We got a special guest right here. This is a guy I've met recently at a few conferences. He's just a guy that, like, if you see him, you just know he's a good guy. And the more you get to know him, the more you like him, the more you get to know the inner parts of him and how he works. You just really say, how can I get around this guy a little bit more? He's got some special things to share with us. Dallas Keithley, how you doing, brother?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words.
That's man. Awesome. Like, so every time I've talked to you, it's been like a positive interaction. Every time I see you somewhere, I say hi to you. You always have some kind of value to give. You always speak well, and your story is quite inspiring when you tell me about the things you shared on stage and stuff like that. So it's good to get to know you a little bit better, and hope we can get to know each other better over time and all
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely. Tell everyone a little bit about you, man. Where'd you come from? And
so I grew up, I was a missionary kid. Grew up in Papua New Guinea. Yeah. And grew up in Papua New Guinea, right above Australia there. Survived a volcanic eruption, had our house destroyed, all that. So I've had an interesting life.
Were you there your whole life in Papua New Guinea?
Till 1995 I came home, until I was about 16, 17, came home. And
so you grew up there the whole time?
No, I went over when I was a kid, about 10 years old, 10 years old, and then we grew up there. And so interesting life. I've seen a lot of things, got to experience a lot of things that, at the time I wasn't real excited about. Pulled away from my family and friends, but looking back, I'm like, man, I wouldn't trade that for anything. So
the experience of that.
And then, I grew up, and just the biggest struggle I've had all my life is believing in myself, right? Like, I see other people and I think that's great for them, but I'm not going to do that. I couldn't do that. And so I grew up, I dropped out of college, went to College of the Ozarks, dropped out of college, and went to work in a boat factory, and I was always taught work ethic. That's one thing that I'm very proud of, is my work ethic. I've always thought I don't have a lot of talent, but nobody's going to outwork me. And so I worked in a boat factory, but there was something just burning inside that said there's more, and nothing against anybody that works in a factory or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's just everybody's had that, where you're like, I know that there's something else. Right. And so I got laid off from the boat factory, and working for Johnny Morris there, Bass Pro, all that. Got laid off, and they'd lay off every summer. And I just got married in April, got laid off in June.
What year was this?
That was 2001.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I went to church with Brian Askins, and I finally went up to him, and I'm like, dude, it's kind of the pursuit of happiness thing. I saw he drove a nice truck. I'm like, dude, I need a career. I'm sick of having a job.
And where was Brian at this time when you started?
Brian was at Mutual of Omaha. He was the general manager of Mutual of Omaha, and he was beginning to turn that around.
Of the satellite office?
Yep. He was the GM over the office there in Missouri. When he took it, it was 49th in the country out of like 52. And he took it to number 1. And I was watching him work, and I'm like, that's a guy that work ethic. I saw that immediately. And so started working with him, and honestly, I failed a couple times, but again, that burning desire, and then after I failed my second time, Cody had gotten the business, because Cody was growing up. I was Cody's basketball coach, and stuff like that early in life, but I would see Cody and stuff, and he would come home from an appointment, and I'd be over at his house just kicking it, and we'd be talking about it. I was like, yeah, but did you ask him this, and how'd you get that sale? And he's like, dude, what are you doing? This is what you want to do, And so I got back into it and just had a system. I realized that's why I was failing. I didn't have a system. I didn't have a plan. I would just show up, and it always frustrated me because I knew I could work. I've poured concrete. I've worked on a dairy farm. I've put trailers together. I know how to work, but I wasn't making it. And I'm like, I don't get it. And Cody's like, you don't have a system. You're just showing up expecting people to walk in the door, and it doesn't work that way. So, yeah. So
you were Cody's basketball coach?
Yeah. One of the jobs that I took in between my failures, and that's how I kind of really got to know the Askins, was I was his basketball coach and got to work with him doing that and stuff.
Yeah. And so then Cody was in the business and he was coaching you at that point.
Yeah, well, so he was an intern and then went in the insurance business, and so then I got back into it and we started selling final expense together. And it was funny because we went from a captive company, and at that time Brian started Secure Insurance Group, and Brian's the kind of guy, I've always said, I don't care if Brian says, hey, we're starting a tire shop, I'm going to start learning about tires. You know, I'm going to do what he does. And just because I value what he has put into me, and I value what he has given me. And so he said, I'm starting an independent agency. And I'm like, look, I'm in. I don't know what it is or how to do it, but I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, Cody and I are sitting there and we're reading, you know, back then in the insurance industry, when you went from captive to independent, you were by yourself.
Right.
And you got access to 200-300 companies, but freak, it's just overwhelming.
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah, so we're in there and we're reading product guidelines and commission statements and all that. And we both looked at one of them. We said, Brian, this says 115%. We're used to 35%, you know, and not to bring up comp, but we're, you know, and we're like,
why can't we do that in this industry, by the way?
I'd love to. Yeah, no, I think we should.
I think we should unlift the veil on all that, and everyone
100%.
should know what everyone gets.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
and then people should, like, yes, I have to do something to earn what I get.
Well, the only reason to hide something is if you're embarrassed by it.
Right.
You know, and so to me, I think it's more telling if you're sitting here trying to recruit me,
right,
and you say, look, we'll talk comp later.
Right.
Red flags everywhere, right? Show me what you're getting, show me what you're getting, and, you know, so, but anyway,
that's always the first question I get. What do you get?
Yeah,
if
what do you get?
You can't tell me that. If
exactly.
you can't tell me that, then you're not a partner.
What are you're ashamed of it or something. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but, so we're sitting there, we're looking at them, and we're like, how is there 115%? There's not 115 pennies in a dollar. Right. And Cody's like, who cares?
Yeah,
they're
the first time
it.
you realize there's over 100%.
Yeah, he's like, who cares how they're doing it? Let's go. So we go out.
Like, people have business plans beyond next month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hold on. How's that work?
Right.
So we just go out and start writing FE, man. We just and we door knocking and just having a good time.
So how many people were in the agency at that time?
There was 5. There was me, Cody, Ty, Cody's brother-in-law, his dad, and another guy named Sean Powell. And he's still an agent with us today. And now we've got, well, we just formed a new company. We merged with ATP, Roger and Short and his team, and we're around 1,500 agents now in 49
just
states.
Announced this week too, right?
Yeah, we're just announcing that
announced
this week.
Publicly besides here at 8%?
We told our agents, you know, we had kind of an internal release, but we've announced it this week.
And it's a rebrand. What's the name of it again?
Impact Legacy Group.
Impact Legacy Group.
Yes.
What's the story behind that? So Roger Short.
Yep.
And who else?
So you got on their side, you got Roger Short, Chris Ball, Zach McElwain. On our side, you got myself, Matt Smith, who's Brian's other son-in-law, Ty James, and Brian. And it's just what happened was, and you've been with us on the road shows with Cody and stuff like that. And Brian and Roger met, and Cody's good friends with Roger, and we kind of went the Medicare route at Secure. Now we sell everything. We write a lot of life insurance, but we have the Medicare route figured out. Like we do seminars and stuff like that, and it's just really taken off. Where we have that, ATP has the life insurance side. And so we just started talking, what if we could work together? What if we could do something? And what I love about these guys is insurance is a means to an end. We want to make an impact in the insurance world, but also in people's world. So everything that we do, a percentage of that is going to help people. Everything is coming off the top. It's going to some type of foundation. We've got some stuff we're going to unveil later, but and we want to make a difference in the world.
So you make an impact now, legacy for later.
Absolutely.
And what's your value proposition to the agents that come into your ecosystem? You
know, I tell agents all the time, because we talk about commission and we talk about all that stuff, but you and I both know there's 200 FMOs out there that can give the same commission that I can give.
Right.
There's 200 FMOs that can give the same products I can give. What I'm really proud of is our culture and our desire to help people grow. So many people fail in this business because they don't have the right culture and they don't have a system. When I went to work at Mutual of Omaha, like I said, Brian had just taken over, and I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. I went home and I told my wife, I friggin' hate this, man, because it's negative. If you do make a sale, people want to know, how'd you get that? You know, did somebody give you a lead, or, you know? And they had me calling out of a phone book, not Brian, but some of the other agents, and I hated it. And now we want to create a place where people can come, love what they do, and because we hear all the time, I love this place. They have the culture, but no commission. Over here, they have the commission, but no culture. And so we're just trying to fill the gap.
Yeah. So you have culture, and then training. is hard to do on thin margins as an FMO as well.
It is, yeah.
So how are you meeting that challenge, and what can you not meet with that?
Well,
because there are some realities of that.
Here's what I can't meet on that, and it's the most frustrating part of my job. I do training and recruiting. That's what I do at Impact. You see somebody and you want to train them, you want to help them, you want to train them, but you want it more than they do. That's where we lack, and I don't know if that can be fixed. That has to be a personal thing inside that person, right? But where we have excelled, but think about this. I've always been a guy, like I said, I grew up in Papua New Guinea. When something breaks in Papua New Guinea, you either don't have it or you fix it. One of the two. And I've always been that guy that, man, I'm going to try to fix something, right? We have YouTube nowadays and all that stuff.
The boating industry, it's like, if you can't afford it, you got to get a Cuban to fix it.
Exactly.
Like, not like an immigrant Cuban, but like you got to go to Cuba. Because they can fix anything with anything because they never had any parts.
Right.
Same thing.
But think about this. Why are you so successful? Persistence, right?
Yeah.
If you want something, you're going to get it, or you're going to die trying, right? That's what I think people have to grasp, because I have agents come to me all the time and say, I need more training. You could go on YouTube and get all the training in the world. There's so much training out there now, right? It's just instilling that desire and then pointing them in the right direction.
But it seems like the problem with that is, like, you can go to YouTube and you're going to go see what Dallas Keithley does, what I do, what Frank Bryant does, what Cody says, and your system and my system, his system and his system scrunched together doesn't work. Yeah, you got a whole lot of advice and nowhere to go with it, right? Right. It's like you got to almost find one system that you can commit to and really work with yourself. And there's no magic bullet. It's you and persistently working. Exactly. So I love what John Wetmore's been talking about. Just go in and get the reps, man. Go in and get the reps, and that skill set will appear. You'll figure it out. It happens. I mean, and now the teaching and training we can do is will help you in that journey. Right. But people are spending more time going in and looking for the new secrets than they are putting in the reps. Exactly. And that's the problem. And here's what I dislike about the insurance world. You can own a business for $300, right? I can go take my test, buy the testing and the prep kit and all that, and I can own a business for $300. So then, if it doesn't work, I lost $300, right? I wish it was harder to get into sometimes. And then once you got in, then you would say, okay, if I fail, I've lost a lot. So then you have the desire to go and find the system that works for you. But what you said is exactly right. I tell agents all the time, stop worrying about, am I doing it perfect? Just find a way and start doing it. Right. And you'll learn, Right, and it doesn't take, to make that skill, there's all the ninja moves and the things that top producers do over and over and over, but they all come up with them and they all kind of rhyme, but they all do it a little bit different, and it's always their own personality. And what I've learned is my best producers that I've had over my whole career in my agencies are not the most talented. No, never. And it doesn't take if you give it 6 months of your life, you can learn how to sell any product consistently forever. Right. The people who wake up and start at the same time every day and do the same thing every time, control a consistent lead flow and with a consistent user experience, keep that going, and can do it day in, day out for a decade. Yeah. Those people create generational wealth without having to go out on, and they go home at the end of the day and they don't go on YouTube and looking for the next secret. Yeah, exactly. There's certain people get there, and then there's other people like you, obviously, who say, okay, I've gotten to a certain point with that. Now I want to bring on proteges and I want to start developing the next generation. Yeah. But it's that same system that you learned in the field that you're teaching now to other agents, right? Right, because, and this is what I love about, we're here at 8%. This is what I love about what it's done, is it has opened up the industry to where it's okay to share what you do, right? Brian gave a PowerPoint this morning on Medicare seminars. In the past, you didn't do that. You kept your little thing and you held it in your corner and you did Right. Now, it's just out there. And so, like you said, if you want to make an impact on this industry, you find something and then you teach other people how to do it, like Wetmore says. It seems like the industry's changed where the information used to be the secret. You come in with me, by position I get you in, and then if I have you under contract, I'll give you I'll give you the sauce and we'll start working together, but I'm not giving anything away. Now you can't get attention or get anyone to work with you without giving away your secret sauce. And that's just how you have to lead with value now. And so the information doesn't seem to be our issue. The reps, the hard work, and the focus on quality. And I'm all over this today. Everywhere we're talking, and it's part of my passion in life and why I'm doing the things I'm doing right now. Is our industry's lost our focus on quality. That quality interaction, that quality, whether it's you talking to a client, you training an agent. Day in, day out, just looking for not the quick buck, not the crazy, not all these things, but consistent, persistent, one good quality interaction at a time over a period of time. That's what insurance industry is missing. Which is a huge opportunity for us, because when you do those things, they stack on quality, and it's a good foundation that you can continuously build on. And every agent out there, local agent, wants to do something. You can build a reputation in a community. The internet's not taking that away. It'll only enhance it. People think, I'm going to lose to the e-health. So e-health's come and go. Like you see that mass-producing competence, it's just going to come and go. But if your name in a community and those quality impressions that you make on other human beings seems to be what lasts.
People still want a relationship, man. Sales has always been about relationships. And I think agents have to adapt. I think we're foolish if we sit here and say, that internet, that'll never, that computer, that'll never catch on.
But it's got to enhance the relationship.
It enhances, and you use that to reach more people. I mean, think about it. So my dad was a pastor, and he said, what's funny is you look at, and not to get too biblical, but you look at like Paul, right? Paul spread the gospel throughout Asia and a couple other places before we had airplanes. My dad's like, why aren't we using that? I mean, everybody should know it by now, right? It's the same in insurance. You can't look at the internet and all that and say, oh my gosh, now I got to compete with it. No, you don't. You
the greatest movement ever built was one man walking around with 12 apprentices.
Absolutely, and they saw opportunity and they multiplied it out. And I mean, we have to do the same thing. You have to, and I'm one of the world's worst about, I get in my little rut and I want to do things my way. And then like Ty James, he's great. He's always sending me ads about, hey, look at this program. Look what this can. And I was just watching your stuff over there. Your guy was showing me what you guys are doing with Insurasales and stuff like that. That's incredible. I mean, you guys are just furthering the industry.
Well, thank you for that. And that's part of my passion with this whole thing. I have this technology stack I built over a couple decades. And it's like, I hold it to myself. I really, because of where the industry is, I want to use that as a tool to just reach out and meet people like you and other people and empower the individual agent to take their power back and their agency back, so that we can build quality and restore the insurance industry, I think.
And here's what's cool. Well, I was just talking to a couple guys over there. I love people that have a passion to see other people succeed. And like, for example, we had Ed Milet here yesterday. Ed Milet doesn't need a speaking fee.
Were you in tears?
Oh my gosh.
I was bawling.
I was trying to hold it back and be tough, and after a while I'm like, screw it. I'm just bawling like a baby.
I actually took pictures of myself.
I'm calling everybody I love, and you know what I mean? Like, it was nuts. But he doesn't need the money. You know what I mean? I don't think you need the money. I've got to visit with you, but you have a passion to see people succeed. And that's when I know somebody really has they're doing it for the right reasons. So I love what you're doing.
I appreciate it. So I'm excited about y'all's merger. So you're an FM, or you have any kind of captive organization or career shop?
Nope. I take that back. We have a LOA program within ours, but it's very small. We set that up because we saw a lot of young agents that had the passion, but they don't have any money, right? So we do have an LOA program within our office. We've got about 10 guys in it right now, and we give them so much to spend on marketing every month, and then we split the business with them. We own the business, but then our goal is to get them to an independent status within 3 years. And we want to see them
So it's like an incubator almost,
yes, exactly.
And I'll tell you what, that's important, because I've had chances to just leave my agency and move on and sell it and do other things. I like having a sales floor. I've always been call center. I like having an active sales floor. No matter how big I get, what I get, that whole thing keeps you on the ground. The biggest regret I have as I built my businesses and all this is that I didn't. If I could do it all over again, I would take every Friday and I would make calls. Because somehow
yourself would.
I would personally go in and make calls every Friday, and maybe Friday afternoons or whatever, to teach people that people do buy on Friday afternoons. For one reason, but just to keep my feet to the ground. It got to the point where I guess I could go back and all that, but it doesn't make as much sense for me. I should have done it a decade ago to keep my feet on the ground. But I found that my top guys, if they do that, they can get into management and spending all their time that. It's like the best way you can do that is at least get on the phone a day or two a week. Because you can talk forever and train forever, but if they see you do it, it's a whole different thing.
Well, and here's what's crazy. Brian Askins, been in the business 31 years. He's our CEO. Again, another guy that probably could go without a paycheck for a while, right? He's still one of our top producers, and the thing about
he's still personally producing.
He's still personally producing all the time, and he's transitioning to where he's more, doing other stuff, taking their daily tasks and stuff. But here's the thing: your dogs will only go as fast as far as your lead sled dog, and if you don't have that lead sled dog, like if the top person in your office is producing 5 apps a month, nobody underneath them is going to produce more than 5 because that's the ceiling. That's where we set it, and we're done.
That's what they believe is possible. That's the 4-minute mile.
Exactly. Roger Bannister, right? And it's cool. But here's the other thing too. Our LOE program was doing okay. I mean, they'd produce 10, 15 apps a month. Then we had a couple kids come in, and they started writing 30, 40 apps a month.
They didn't know any better.
Yeah, they didn't know any better. And other people are looking at them like, hold on, what are you doing? And they just started doing 34 apps. And then we look around, and like this guy starts doing 30, 40. It just busted that ceiling. And
you got to have that. You got to have that thing come in, and then you hope the new guy can come in and do it
What's
better.
the standard now?
I've often found that to overturn an agency, you almost have to hide. Like when agencies are failing, you almost have to push people back away off in the corner and not see it, and then bring some new people up to show that, and then you can unlift the veil over here again to show that. Because the new guy will come in. The new guy will come in and look at the top guy. So a declining agency, it's almost impossible to turn that around without pulling something else on top and then showing it.
It's like me when I run
But then
a race.
they'll just tell you, hey, it's because Dallas is giving him the good leads.
Of course, he just, but losers will always find excuses. Like gold. But no, a lot of agents come in with the same mindset. If I'm running a race, I tried out for the police academy years ago, and my goal in that race was, because we had to do a physical and all that stuff. Don't be last. Don't be last. I had no thoughts of winning. Like that wasn't going to happen. Just don't be last. And that's what a lot of agents come in.
Wow.
All I got to do is, if he's writing 4, I got to write 5.
At least I'm not the worst. I'm
not called out.
So
in the
it's
meeting.
just trying to do just enough. So all right. So you guys are now with Roger Short's organization and all that. Is he bringing an organization in, or is this a joint venture?
It's a joint. So they had ATP. We had Secure Insurance Group joining and make an impact, because, like I said, what they've got on the final expense side is very impressive. They've got turnkey. You come in, we train you, we give you the tools, we give you the carriers, we show you. Here's the flip book on how to sell FE, and then go. I mean, they've got it down to, here's when you call, here's when you door knock, here's the leads, and just run.
So. And how long have y'all known each other?
Oh gosh, Roger Short, probably about 5-6 years now.
Really?
Going back to 8%,
Roger's another guy, like he walks in a room and you're just like, everyone kind of turns, like, who is this guy? And when he starts talking, everyone just kind of crowds around. He's just like, he just talked about climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. And
what draws me to Roger, because you and I have been in this business a long time. I'm 21 years now. I don't care for egos. I don't care for, and that kind of turns me off more than anything. What draws me to Roger and Brian is when they talk to you, they genuinely care about you, and that's what I'm looking for in a relationship and a business partner and all that stuff.
Well, how well are you guys known? I kind of live in my bubble a lot. Are you guys well known in the industry? I know the 8%'s getting out, and people are knowing the 8%. They're starting to know the Secure Marketing Group, and they're starting to know you guys from this. Like, are you guys like scratching the surface on getting?
I think we are. I think we're becoming more well known, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I get calls. I talk about people, I'm the recruiter, and people are like, how do you recruit? I'm like, honestly, I have the easiest job in the world. I hope Brian and Roger don't see this. But I have the easiest job in the world. I don't go out. People are like, oh, do you go and shake hands? I can't remember the last time I called somebody and said, hey, we want to talk to you about becoming a part. Right. They're calling me and they're saying, hey, you know, I'm sick of this over here and I'm sick of that over there. And, you know, in recruiting, I always want to be respectful. The first question I always ask somebody is, who are you with now?
Right.
And if there's somebody that I know and respect, you know, if somebody called me and said, hey, I'm with Tony Merwin, I'm going to be like, you know what, you got a great guy over there.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
But yes, we are becoming more well known, and it's just, we haven't really advertised. Right. It's just when you do right.
So you're going to sell out to Integrity or AmeriLife?
I won't ever say never, but it doesn't seem to be in the picture right now. My goodness.
Y'all seem to be, to me, I'm literally an outsider looking in. I actually interviewed one of the Integrity partners yesterday, Galen's partner, Taylor Martin. Mm-hmm. Why did I forget his name? I've known him for like 20-some years. Yeah. I interviewed him and all that. But that seems to be a current of what was kind of going to another direction, and they're kind of where they were. And they're still doing fine. Yeah. But you guys seem to be this new current. It's this new current. It's the new marketing, and it's the more community-based stuff.
I mean, right now they're the Mississippi River, and we're, you know.
But you guys are a tsunami coming down the road, coming into their world and they're like, hey, how do I get that attention? How do I get that sense of community here? And they're kind of chasing, but it doesn't seem to be in their DNA as much. Yeah. So they're having to respond to the things that you guys are doing. So you guys are in a really good position.
I think you guys are doing. I'm excited about it, man. I really am. I'm honored to be a part of it. It's awesome. I like what Integrity's doing. You said early on, one thing you said early on was the biggest compliment you give me. You said I always try to bring a positive to it, and I didn't used to be that person.
Right.
I have been a very negative person in the past, and I just got sick of that guy.
Yeah.
So I try to find positive in everything that I do. You know, you talk
only
about
be negative about the negativity you have. So
exactly. Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm allowed to say I hate about, right? But Integrity is doing things for the industry that is incredible. Yeah. I mean, just open any Wall Street Journal to see who Integrity bought today. They're growing. But they're bringing attention to the industry. Right. You know, and I like it. I mean,
and they're bringing a lot of groups together who like all knew each other in one way or another, and they're bringing some things in. So, I think there's whether mergers and acquisitions are good for people or not. I think everyone seems to have a lot of autonomy and all of that in there. Yeah. But for the most part, what the big people who go there are the people who work. Yeah. That's really what I'm saying. Yeah. And you guys seem to be the people who will be. I mean, not that you're not something now, but like if I had to put a dollar down on one side or the other, the people who've been in it for 20-some years. And, y'all are on your way up, and they're level, they're stable. Right. But I think the growth curve with what y'all are doing, I don't see a whole lot. I'm not industry out there a lot. But y'all's growth curve and capacity just seems like a good place to put some money on right now.
It's we're trying to, and I appreciate that. We're trying to change the industry. Not that the industry's horrible or anything like that, but just again a positive place where people can come in, they can have a system, they turn on the system, they work hard. It's not easy. I get tired of easy sales in insurance. Insurance is not easy. It's very hard, but if you do it and you're consistent and you work, it can be the most rewarding industry on the planet.
And you'll tell people that too.
Absolutely.
You'll tell people it's got to be hard. It's going to be hard.
All the time.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, if you're here to work 6 hours a day and make $1 million, you need to go invest in some other pipe dream because this isn't it.
And the last thing we can talk about, what's the value of getting good partners? Oh. I mean, and this brings up with the merger that you guys just had, finding people, because when I walk around your organization, from the people who are from the ground level employees doing anything to Landon and Roger, Brian, Cody, all of you guys, like every one of you seem to be like real good, genuine people, trying to connect other people, not trying to hoard and work an angle on everyone. I mean, everyone has their business angles that they're working under the scenes somehow or whatever. We all have to. I mean, we didn't come here for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All that, but there's a different tonality of it where a more of an abundance mindset, I think. And so, what can you share with people about not only the value of finding good partners, but how to avoid the wrong ones?
Well, the value of good partners is, I heard a story years ago, I want to say Amazon, the leader of Amazon. Bezos. Jeff Bezos said he never hires anybody that's not better than him, right? Because I have me.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
God, I wish I would have heard that 20 years ago.
Exactly, yeah. That's the thing. People go out there and they try to hire
yourself.
them. Yeah.
You build
I
a
have
prison
me,
for yourself, right?
You know. But the value of partners is, so take Tommy Graziano. Tommy Graziano is me on the other side. I mean, we even have the same haircut, everything, right? But that dude, I am not good with technology. I'm like, my assistant programmed my Popple business card in my phone for me, right? I'm not that guy. Tommy is a beast at that stuff. Yeah. So he compliments me very, very well. When we get together, like the first time we met, we didn't know. First time I met Tommy, I had heard about a guy named Tommy that I had to meet. And we went to one of the road shows. Me and this dude are sitting here talking for 25 minutes. And then he's like, I said, I'm sorry, what was your name again? He goes, I'm Tommy Graziano. I'm like, I'm supposed to meet you, you know? And so it just merged really well. You take Roger. What's funny is, in our partnership, you have Brian and you have Roger. Brian is very, very, very good at some things. Roger is very, very good at some things, and they complement. You have Ty and you have Zach. Same thing. You have Matt and you have Chris Ball. Same thing. Right. So the value of a partnership is allowing someone else to do what you can't do and writing that. It's Lauren's story. One Clydesdale can pull 8,000 pounds. Two can pull 32,000, right?
Right.
I can only get as far as what my partners, and then avoiding the other ones. To me, like I said earlier, I am partners with people that have my best interest in heart. Brian has always believed in me more than I have believed in me.
Right.
And that's allowed me to excel farther than I thought I could. That's what I'm looking for
and
in a partner.
His belief in you propelled you to be what you didn't believe you could be yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
So if I go into a partnership and all they want to talk about is them, and what I can do, and I'm out.
I got to remember that, man. Like, because I do believe in people, but I often don't tell them how much I believe in them.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah, we're cool. Yeah. I know you're gonna be great. Like,
we take it for granted.
Come in and say, look, man, I believe in you. I know, you know what skills I see in you. Like, you find the real way that cuts to the heart of what it is, and specifically compliment them on those specific things that you feel and you don't think are a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it's just in you. You think it's apparent. It's not to them.
Yeah.
And when you can do that, I'm reminding myself about 3 people right now.
Yeah.
I just need to go tell how great they are. At the right time.
It may not mean much to you, but to them. I was coming out of the restroom right over there yesterday, and I had the privilege, or day before yesterday, I don't know, it's all running together, but I had the privilege of introducing Cody on day 1. And I came out, and Anthony Starks, stopped me out of the bathroom. He said, man, you're better than that. You're better at that than what you think you are. And he's like, you did a great job. And
your public speaking skills are off the charts.
Well, thank you,
your
man.
presence, like, when I see you speak, it's like, I got to stop and listen, man.
Well, thank you. And see, stuff like that, like,
you don't know yourself, right?
It took 3 seconds for you to say that. To me, I'm going to go home and tell my wife, man, Brandon Todd just said I was a good speaker. You know, Anthony Starks, who's going to be on the main stage today, took time to stop and say, and to him, that was 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But man, that made my day. And we don't realize that what words, the one thing I'm taking away from 8% is, and I've wrote it down 20 times, and I'm telling my kids, I've already texted them, is words matter.
Yeah.
Your words matter.
Yeah.
Putting down and building up.
Yeah, that was Itzler the first day. Yep. What we say matters.
I love Itzler, man.
God, like how good was that? Yeah.
I've read his books. I've watched his everything. I was the we talked about.
But he was able to finish
in.
that 100 miles, like an extra 20-some miles, just by telling that he was about to die and all this other stuff.
How do you feel?
Like,
outstanding.
Like, I don't get tired. I don't get tired.
Yeah.
And he went through it.
Yeah. I snuck into the green room, took a picture with him. I'm like, look, I may get kicked out of here. I'm going to play the whole. I'm going to play the whole. Do you know who I am? I know Cody. I'm like, I don't care. I'm getting back there. I'm getting a picture
right
of it.
There going.
Yeah,
good.
I did.
Put it out. Any final words of closing, man, congratulations on your merger, your success. Looking forward to knowing you more. It's been good getting to know you the last couple months.
Absolutely.
Well, man.
That's awesome. I appreciate you guys, what y'all are doing. This what you guys are doing just on the 10-minute demo I had a while ago is taking the industry here, and it's just going to bang it forward just a little bit more. So that's awesome.
It's the first of many things to come, too.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by.
Absolutely.
All right. Y'all take care. God bless y'all.